you've been co-creating it with Hope, right? The infinity bottle.
Yeah.
So this is always something that I want to ask you. Is there a story behind that?
When I was a young boy, I lived in Greenwich, Connecticut, and the neighbor through the backyard and my mom and their mom became best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And their daughter is Hope Fitzgerald, who started a business called the Wave Energy Center for Conscious Evolution, where she teaches about this thing called the infinity wave. And Hope's a few years older than me, so we weren't like peers in school. But because our moms were so close, you know, like at weddings and stuff when we grew older, we stayed close enough that when our work overlapped, we came together. And so when I was working on this dream of replacing the plastic bottle industry, Hope actually pulled me into her business for a year. It was like a place where I could go while I guess I needed to expand my depth. Like I had to be able to understand the energy of water, which is not such an easy or obvious thing. Like that's the part, there's no manual from the universe. So I spent a year helping Hope build her business online. And in so doing, I learned about this thing called the infinity wave. And for those who are not familiar with it yet, the infinity wave is a channeled energetic tool. So what does that mean? That means Hope received guidance that we can focus energy in a pattern like an infinity shape. Think of it as a wave, and we can actually, using that energy, cause changes in our 3D world. Wow. That's pretty interesting, right? So
that's amazing, yeah.
So when you and I met and I started to get to know the Vitajuwel brand and I knew about the infinity, I went back to Hope and asked her, she'd always wanted a way to manifest the infinity wave physically, something to tie it to carry it. And so when I went to her and showed her the Vitajuwel, she's like, oh, I like those. She got 2 bottles.
Yeah.
Inner Purity and Sunny Morning were her first 2 bottles. And she loved them. She loved sharing them. We went to a Dowsers convention together, and we shared gem water there, the Vitajuwel products. And Hope received that she could cause the energy of the infinity wave to be in a bottle. Now, as much as I live in an energetic world and I'm dedicated to it and like this is what my attention's on, I have to tell you that as we approached you and said, hey, can we make a blend to carry this infinity wave, I had my own doubt.
Yeah.
You know, but that's okay because Hope's there when I'm doubting, she's there to point the way. And so I didn't know until not only had the bottles been created and they were in your warehouse and beginning to get shipped out, until I had an experience with a customer where they asked me about some of the blends and I took them onto our web page and I showed them the infinity blend. So they were on their computer and I was on mine. And as soon as I started talking to her about it, I felt the waves of energy coming over me. And that was in June. And since then, this infinity bottle has been my favorite.
What I love about the infinity bottle, about your and Hope's creation, is that besides it being beautiful, it's a straight to the point water blend. It's just something that combines all the good water stones. If you read about crystal healing, as I said, there's wonderful sources out there like the Chum Water book from Michael Ginger, or web pages like the Crystal Vaults, for example. If you want to read about structured water, the best page to get info is yours, of course. The database that you created on the onennessenterprise.com is one of its own. So there's wonderful sources out there, and if you read about what crystals do to water, what they can do to water, that you learn very quickly that the stones that you've combined, not even with that intention of doing that, they're wonderful stones to hit water where it's supposed to be hit in a positive way to create pure and fresh water. Sodalite, for example, is a great stone to balance your need of water. Most people don't drink enough water, as you know, and sodalite definitely helps with that. Sodalite helps you with finding your own sense, your own balance, your own need for water, and combining it with a wonderful concept like the infinity wave. We talked about Masaru Emoto before. I told you, or Masaru Emoto said that everything affects water. And if you talk to water, if you put signs, even if you make a little infinity sign on your water bottle, it'll change the water. So we don't do that with everybody, only with people who we know have a positive approach, like the infinity concept, the infinity wave concept. And that's something that we can totally support because it's a great product and a great concept.